Now that PPP is over for almost every lender, one of the most common questions we get here in our office is, okay, so if I got the PPP, now when do I apply for forgiveness? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Hello from Freedom Tax Accounting. We're an accounting firm where we have been providing quality tax and accounting services now for over 20 years. We are recording this video on May 18th, 2021, and we always emphasize the date of the recording on any video related to the PPP program, because even though it appears that this program is over, you never know. This program has been surprising us for a year now. So there may be things that we discuss in this video that can change as soon as tomorrow. So that's the importance of subscribing to our channel. That way you're always up to date with the most current and correct information regarding the SBA loans. Okay, so let's go into the news. Basically, as you know, PPP is almost over for every lender, and I have to say almost because certain community financial institutions still have access to SBA funding. So if you haven't received a PPP loan yet, the only way you can get it is to find a local community development financial institution. Now, how do you find those? You have to go to the SBA website. You click on the PPP logo and see here where it says find an eligible lender. You click these links and you search your zip code, and it gives you a list of available lenders that may still have PPP funds. And I emphasize the word they may have, because in most financial institutions, they're already telling clients that they have no more funding available. And apparently, there's not going to be any more funding approved by Congress. So most likely, this PPP program is over. Okay. Now, if you got PPP and now that it appears that this program is over, one of the most common questions we get here in our office is, when and how do I apply for forgiveness? And the answer is, it depends on the type of structure you have and when you got the PPP loan. So let's go into the context. So in this video, we are going to show you how and when to apply for PPP forgiveness if you are self-employed, independent contractor, sole proprietor, basically anyone who got a PPP under a Schedule C, how to apply for forgiveness if you have a partnership, meaning that you file Form 1065, if you have an S Corp or a C Corp, meaning that you file Form 1120 or 1120S. And we're going to tell you what we are recommending our clients, okay? So basically, the first thing you need to know is that you have a lot of time to apply for forgiveness. Remember that when you got a PPP, you have a loan with a bank. So the bank may start sending you emails about the interest rates and about the payments. Don't let that scare you, okay? Yes, you have a loan with a bank that now you have to apply for forgiveness, okay? And if you do things correct, then you're going to get your loan 100% forgiven, okay? Now, why do I say that you have a lot of time? Because based on SBA rules, and this is very important you to know, these are rules directly from the SBA, because apparently there are certain banks that don't know SBA rules, and some banks are telling people that if they don't start paying their loan now, that they're going to get like penalties, and that's basically not true. You have to tell your bank what I'm going to tell you now. This is what the SBA says. This is the timeline for the PPP forgiveness. Disbursement date. This is the date the funds were deposited into your account. Okay, so the date you got the funds in your account, you have 24 weeks. Okay, so the 24 weeks is the end of your covered period. Okay, so after the 24 weeks, you still have 10 more months to apply for forgiveness before the bank starts telling you to pay the loan. So from the time you get the funds all the way to when the bank officially can tell you that you have to start making payments, it's almost 16 months. So you have a lot of time. Now, even though you have a lot of time, you may just want to get rid of your forgiveness as soon as possible. Okay, so once again, you have a lot of time to apply for forgiveness. From the date you got the funds, you have 24 weeks, which is the covered period, and then you have 10 more months to apply for forgiveness. If you get to this point of 10 months after the covered period and you have not applied for forgiveness, the bank has the right to tell you that you have to start paying your monthly payments on your PPP loan. Okay? Now, let's start with the partnerships. Partnerships are businesses that file the 1065 form. Okay? When should you apply for forgiveness? At least we are recommending our clients that you should apply for forgiveness as soon as possible. Okay? And once again, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes. You need to seek guidance with your CPA or with your accountant or with your financial advisor. But what are we telling our clients? It's that if you have a partnership, a 1065 filer, and you got a PPP loan, there's no reason to wait to file for forgiveness. Now, the thing is, every bank has a different forgiveness system. Remember that forgiveness is through the bank that gave you the loan. You do not apply for forgiveness with the SBA. You apply for forgiveness with the bank that gave you the loan. And every bank has a different system. So we recommend that you start getting in contact with your lender and telling them and asking them, how does your forgiveness process work? How and when can I start applying for forgiveness? Some banks tell you, we're going to send you a link via email. Some banks tell you, go to this online portal. Some banks may tell you you have to go to the actual bank and sending the documentation. So every bank and lender is going to have their own process. Usually, once you get the funds, we have seen that the banks wait from 8 to 12 weeks after you get the funds to send you the forgiveness link, if that's the way they work for forgiveness. But get in contact with your lender and start asking, how do I apply for forgiveness with your lender? Okay. Now, if you have an S Corp or a C Corp, meaning that your business files taxes under the 1120S form or the 1120 form, with the S Corps and C Corps is the same recommendation. There's no need to wait. You should apply for forgiveness as soon as possible. And once again, start calling your lender and see how your specific lender is going to handle forgiveness. Okay. Now, for the self-employed, independent contractors, sole proprietors, basically everyone who applied for the PPP with a Schedule C, there are two different scenarios. First one, that you got the PPP with line 31 of meaning your net profit. So most likely this is people or self-employed independent contractors who got PPP in 2020 or at the beginning of 2021. So, or you may have received your PPP using line 7, which is gross income. If you got PPP with line 7 using your gross income, that means that you should have received your PPP recently, because the change to use line 31 from line 7 occurred at the beginning of this year, 2021. Okay, so there's two different scenarios. Let's look at the first one. So if you got PPP recently, meaning that you got PPP with your Schedule C using line 7, meaning that your PPP was calculated using your gross income, we feel there's no reason to wait. You should apply for forgiveness as soon as possible. And once again, start communicating with the bank who gave you PPP to see how does their forgiveness process work. Once again, every bank has a different forgiveness process, okay? So here's where things get a little bit interesting. If you applied for a PPP and you got a PPP, but it was based on line 31, that it was based on your net profit, meaning that you got the PPP in 2020 or early this year, and you did not get a chance to get the higher amount of PPP with your gross income, at least we are suggesting that you wait. Wait to see if the SBA allows you to reapply using your line 7, using your gross income to get the difference and get a higher PPP loan amount. Now, a lot of people are saying, but isn't PPP over? But even if PPP is over, there is precedent that this happened before. If you remember, in 2020, this happened with the farmers. Farmers file a similar form that's similar to Schedule C, but they file a form called the Schedule F, okay? Back in 2020, Schedule F filers, also their PPP was based on their net profit, similar to the Schedule C. And if you remember in 2020, the PPP was over in August of 2020. So the PPP was over in the first round of PPP was over in August of 2020. But what happened in January of 2021, meaning January, August, September, October, November, December, January, 5 months after the first round of PPP was over, in January 2021, the SBA told Schedule F filers that they can now reapply for PPP using their gross income so they can get the difference, but there was one condition, that the PPP loan could not have already been forgiven. So this has happened before with the Schedule F filers, that they got the chance to reapply to get a higher PPP loan amount based on gross income even after the PPP program was over. So once again, this is our speculation. We are not saying that this is what's going to happen, but if you got a PPP using line 31, if you file for forgiveness, then you're basically shutting yourself out. You're closing the door to the opportunity in case the SBA decides to allow you to reapply. Because remember, you have a lot of time to apply for forgiveness. Remember, from the time you get the funds, there's 24-week covered period. Then there's 10 months after that. So you have almost 16 months from time that you got the funds to apply for forgiveness. At least that's what we are recommending, okay? Now remember that we are a full service accounting firm. This is our contact information. If you need help with your personal taxes, your business taxes, if you need help opening up your LLC, if you need help with any IRS tax problems that you may have, we are a full service tax and accounting firm. If you need bookkeeping, we can help as well. This is our contact information. Also remember that we are part of Freedom Group, that we are a group of 4 companies where we do not only tax accounting, we have immigration, real estate, insurance, and financial planning. Okay, so I hope this video has been a blessing to you. Please share it with other business owners if you have received value, and also remember to subscribe to our channel. That way you are always up to date with the most current and the most correct information relating to these SBA loans. Okay, once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.